Patrick, oh, you ready?
Sorry. I think we have, let me see, 2, 4, 6.
I can wait, it's fine.
18. Yeah, I think this is it. We can get started if you're ready. But let me start the recording. Andrew, you guys are recording, right?
Huh? We're starting
Andrew, you guys are
recording.
recording?
We started recording.
Don't forget to. Okay, I'm going to start your recording.
No, I just feel I'm so important.
We're
Recording
as a
in
bank,
progress.
Tension is building.
All right.
What's that?
Abuna, sorry, the mic is kind of far, so we don't go clear. Andrew, we can't hear Abuna too well. I don't know if you can hear me. Or is it?
Guys in the back, can you please come here because we are very few.
Abuna, we need
Come in the front here.
Oh, it's
fine. As long as it won't distort their.
Abuna, it sounds a little bit far. If you can make it a little closer, sorry, please.
It sounds what?
Danny, we can hear you, but it's a bit distant. If you can get the mic closer a little.
Bring the mic forward.
When you're closer to the mic.
Bring closer كده كويس.
Because the audio is coming from.
Yeah.
No, that closer.
All right. So let me know, Patrick, when you want to start, okay?
Okay, we're ready, Abuna, if you would like. I don't know if you want to introduce on your end, and then I think everybody, I can introduce here maybe, and then I know we have a lot of people online too, so if you don't mind, we can do a quick introduction and then we'll start it. Is that all right with you, Abuna?
You want to do some intro?
Yeah, if you don't mind, we'll just introduce really quick.
Sure, okay. Go ahead.
We have a lot of people online.
Okay, guys, we're starting officially, so.
Okay, so hopefully everybody can hear us. We have about 8 or 10 couples online, in addition to about 10 couples here in Michigan, and I think about 10 couples, roughly 8, 9, 10 couples in Cleveland also. So around the diocese, we have about 30 couples in total altogether, and we've been looking forward to this marriage preparation program retreat seminar with Abuna Moros. I think everybody knows Abuna Moros fairly from Cleveland, so he doesn't really need an introduction, but Abuna Moros has several degrees in this field of study, and I'll let him, when he introduces, I'll let him share a little bit about that. But Abuna has studied extensively on this topic all over, and he's spoken about this at length too, and I think he even teaches on this subject regularly. So Abuna, we're very happy to have you. I don't want to take up a lot of time. It's already 8 o'clock, and I know you guys want to get started. But Abuna, we're happy that you're doing this for us. It's a blessing, and we're all ready to get ready. Well, they're all ready to get ready for marriage. So thank you, Abuna. Without further ado.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, and it's really an honor and a blessing to be able to talk to St. Mark Cleveland or to the Cleveland area and Michigan as well, and Columbus and Indiana and like all the dioceses. With the prayer of His Grace, Bishop Seraphim, I hope this will be a very good seminar. So this will not be a lecture, it will be a discussion, okay? So don't get stuck on the PowerPoint. This is like just a guide, and we will discuss. And I just welcome people from online to pitch in. I'm not sure, Patrick, how you will send me questions, but we'll just figure it out. The plan is to have a light intro tonight because it is already late. So it is like just an intro, our plan to the big topics for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have 4 sessions. The second session which is like session 2, will be for the husband, and the session 3 will be for the wife. And then session 4 will be for the sound house relationship theory. So this is based on like studies and research done over 30 years, over maybe with 30,000 couples. If you heard about already, it is called the Gottman method or the Gottman Institute for Marriage. This is what I'm using as a reference, but also I'm using the biblical design for marriage because it is important to know our roots, our faith, and foundation for marriage. And I chose this controversial verse to just push your buttons. What do you think? Be subject to one another in the fear of Christ. This is the basis of marriage. And you know, when we hear like about this verse, is that, okay, am I gonna be subject to him? I'm gonna be subject to her? And we miss on the point. The whole design of marriage is to be in Christ. The whole design of marriage is to be partners with Christ to establish his kingdom on the earth. Am I in trouble? Oh, so all this was not heard?
Okay, try now.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes, that's great. Yeah, yeah.
Should I repeat everything I said?
No, I mean, that's okay. That's true.
It will echo. Okay. ده أنا كده أسمع نفسي. Yeah. Hello? No. So this is the one that's picking up my...
Yeah.
طب how about if I...
speak without this,
We can't hear him.
you will listen.
So what to do? Okay. Good? Patrick?
Sorry, yes, agree. Yeah, that's good. That's better.
It's good?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Right? I think. Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's good. We can hear you.
Shall I continue? Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
All right. So this being an intro, so it is like very light kind of introduction, but this will be our guiding verse. Be subject to one another in the fear of Christ. Being subject, we don't like to be subject to anybody. And there are a lot of ideas and thoughts and backgrounds from our culture, from the context that we have, is that we resist being subject to one another. But I just want you to bear with me and to understand what this verse really means. But our key here is to be in the fear of Christ. When we talk about roles in marriage, so big part of getting ready to be married is talking about expectations, okay? Usually, most of us have an idea about marriage from our parents, from the media, from the culture, and really each one bring their baggage into that marriage, how they observed their parents doing marriage. There are silent expectations. So this will help us just like broach this subject, which is roles in marriage. What do you think? Let's open for discussion. What are roles? Do we have to have roles? Or not? And if so, what are these roles? This will be a very long night. What's that? تعال عشان they have to listen to you.
I said, I don't think it's necessary to have roles.
I think roles can be switched between the husband and wife depending on situations. Sometimes people are busier than others. The wife doesn't always have to be the housemaker. Sometimes the man can be the housemaker if the wife is busy for some reason. So I think it's maybe you can look at it as you're a team and there's a job to be done, and whoever has to play the role to get the job done, that person will play that role.
When we thank you. When we talk about roles, the first image is the traditional kind of roles. The husband works outside, the wife cooks at home and waiting for the husband. And these days, and actually in the Christian marriage, roles as doing is not really found, but roles as being is the one that we need to talk about. Are roles essential for marriage? Having just some clarity about responsibilities, maybe, about each one's calling. Is it essential or not really? It is. Why? Why is a role essential? Okay. It's an intro, so I'm not going to give you everything. Let's just brainstorm. Anybody from the other side online? What are roles? Are they essential? Do you think defining them is necessary for marriage? Or we just do things as it comes and we are equal and it provides structure. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. So they provide structure, they like provide clarity, known expectations. Um, if you look at, because again, like roles, the first image we think about is the traditional kind of roles. The husband, he's the man, decision making. Wife, raising the kids. The husband, work hard to provide financially for the family. Wife takes care of the house work. And even if, like nowadays, females, they work full time, but still there's a hidden expectation that they come and they do everything, right? Yes, Noor? Okay. The husband, yeah, so both of them are working full time, but there's like this unspoken expectation. The wife would come and do the cooking and take care of the kids because, hey, this is her role as a mom. Thank you. This is for the questions, right? Okay. Okay. These are roles the traditional way. But roles in the Christian marriage, this is a hint here, number 3 here. And now this moves us from a task to a calling, to a way of being. For the husband, understand and fulfill my wife's needs. So it's not about picking up the trash, right? No, it's larger than that. You have a calling now, whether you're a husband or your wife. So this like transition between tasks, chores, gender roles, to a calling, understand and fulfill my wife's needs. For the wife, help, appreciate my husband. Again, this is like just an example. Knowing this, I want you to pick up your phones for everybody here, online and in person, and even Either scan the QR code. If it's too far from you, you can just send to this number 37607. Send to first subscribe mgali005. And you will receive a message that this like first one, I want the guys to just write what you think my role as a husband is. Now for the guys. So you will first send mgali005 to this number 37607. You will get the confirmation and then write what do you think your roles in few words. For the husband. Okay? It's coming. Good. This is for the husband, okay? Ladies, wait. Our guys in Troy are good? Are we good, Patrick? You can nod or wave or do anything.
Yeah, we're good. We're on with you.
You're good?
Yeah, we're following with you. We're on.
Okay.
We're good.
So here's our thoughts here, guys. You think your roles is protect, lead, decision. I'm not sure like what you mean by family. Provide, Christ, priest, safety, supporter, which is really good here. Rock, okay. God, church. Supplement, what does this mean? Okay, so most of these words, they describe a sense of calling or a way of being, which is good, okay? So here there's no mention about trash, about laundry, some finances here, which is okay, as long as there's an agreement. But what I am seeing here, your answers is that, okay, this is how I want to be with my wife or with my partner. Yes, priest, if you're looking at the Orthodox wedding, it is the crowning ceremony as the priest over the house, over the altar in the house, and we can talk about it later. Stability, okay? All right, keep it in your mind, okay? For the ladies here, let's do another one, my role as a wife. You will do the same, text mgali005 to 37607, and then just write, what do you think your role? Again, now we are talking about the way of being, not cooking, not driving the kids to sports, no. This is how I envision myself in this marriage. Queen, that's a good one. And this is coming from your nature as as a female, by the nature, by God's design, you are a life-giving person. You give light, you give life, you give birth. So I see here nurturing, supporter, aid, supportive, honor, listen, obey, assist, grow, godly journey. And this is a good one here. There's a journey. We are in this journey together. Homemaker, encourage, honor. These are all good stuff here, and I would like you to keep it in your mind as you go about your marriage, and maybe in your anniversary, try to remember, what did we say that our role is or our calling is? It's like still coming, so I'll just give it like half a minute here. So when we speak about roles, again, we have the traditional view versus the biblical view. Traditional, as we mentioned lightly, that roles are confining, put people in their box. The woman as a homemaker, she raises the kids, she cooks the food, she does the laundry, and the guy goes out to hunt, right, and make the money. And also they limit choices. They limit the person and the choices and keep each one in their place. And this is the very traditional way of marriage. However, be mindful that in the way you have seen your parents do marriage will come into your own marriage. So even if your parents are traditional or they have a clear gender role, many of you will have this silent expectation, well, why my wife is not doing like my mom? Or why my husband is not talking like my dad? Or not handling finances like my dad? These are things that you need to talk about it, how you are bringing your parents' marriage into your own marriage. What are the good things that you want to adapt, integrate in your marriage, and what are the unhealthy things that you want to put aside? Biblical roles are now, pay attention to this, it is the essential functions God has designed a man or a woman to fulfill in marriage. So again, we have functions because we are different people, okay? And there's a function, there's a way of calling. By nature, my wife can do things that I can do. And by nature, I can do things that my wife cannot do. We're not going to exchange designs, okay? So the biblical understanding of role in marriage, it is a calling, and it goes with the design, how God made man and woman. There are some verses here. I want you to read them and tell me how we can reconcile all these verses. Somehow they can be a little bit working against each other if we take them at the face value. But just take some time and let's engage in a brief discussion how we can reconcile all this. So the first one for the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ also is the head of the church. The wise woman builds her house. Does this mean that the husband does not build a house? Wives, be subject to your own husbands as to the Lord. What does that mean? Let's talk. What do you feel, what do you think about these verses being presented this way? I would encourage people from Troy, online, and in person to just talk, please. How can you make all these verses work together, not against each other? Anybody? Any volunteer? We have two experiences here in marriage. I have Randa. I've been married to her for 29 years. Farida, like how long have you been married to Abuna? 11 years. Okay, do you want to share your insight? What do you think? Let's talk. Yes, come here or listen.
So yeah, so like you were saying, like the first two, like for the husband is the head of the wife, and then the wise woman builds her house. Like that kind of almost sounds contradicting at first. But then like when you think about it, like and pay attention to the wording, it says like the wise woman builds her house, but like she's not the head. So the husband is the head of the house. And I think but like I might be wrong, but like I think what it's kind of implying is like the wise woman builds her house, so like she has a big responsibility to like form the foundation of her house. Like she's the one who's choosing like a God-fearing man, and she's the one who's choosing like your kids don't get to choose their father. You know, like the wife is the one who's responsible for that. So she's choosing like a big foundation for the home. And then to like bring the third verse into it where it says, wives be subject to your own husbands as to the Lord. Like again, it almost sounds contradicting because it's saying like you should honor your husband just as much as the Lord, but I think it's just kind of saying like if your husband is God-fearing and is like righteous in his ways, then it should be like natural to kind of like submit and follow him as the head of the house.
Anybody else? Anybody agrees with Marina? Do you have like another insight? What is it about the head? Why the guys are the head of the wife? Are we better than? No? Okay. If no, so why are we the head? Why wives be subject to your own husband as the Lord? Yes, Amen.
I think one of our roles is to protect our wife and family with the way the Lord protects us in our everyday life. That's our role in marriage.
So how the Lord protects us, or when the Lord loves us, what did He do?
Died for us.
Okay. So in order to be a head, you need to earn your place as a head. And our ultimate example is Christ. When He loved the church, He died. So guys, you're about to die. If you want to be the head. Okay? And as a response of love, wives will honor, will love, will nourish, will support. Maybe here the word subject to your husband is not the perfect translation. but we will get into it tomorrow. But like this, like just a teaser here, is that there's a biblical foundation for these roles. And this is a calling. It is a godly calling. Forget about the society's view of men versus women. And yes, it is a marriage of equality. We are equal, but different functions, different callings. And if the guy want to be the head, fine, but you're about to die. This is the only way you will be the head. Because the leader dies for their kingdom, for their house. And the wife, as a response, loves back, supports, lifts up, encourages, supports. Any feedback from online people here about these verses? Sure.
There was this, the wives, is that wives or wives? The wives who built the house.
Yeah.
Is that meaning in the sense of a woman builds a house where it's a safe place, sanctuary, building life? That's the kind of meaning sentence. Or is it either it translates different meaning or
If I understand you correctly, like this, like verse means when the wife or like when the woman understand her calling, which is according to her design, again as a life-giving person, with her wisdom, she can build her home, or she can tear it apart. So again, as the man say leads, meaning dies, the wife builds, the wife gives life, the wife offer wisdom, perspectives, because our brains as males, we are single track kind of brains, we are task oriented, but like females, by the nature of their design, their brain can accommodate multiple perspectives, multiple realities, multiple ways of understanding things. So yes, it takes wisdom to build the house, and mostly it is by the woman. You're welcome. Yeah. What's that? How can I? Okay. Okay. We think that the verses show the importance of cooperation. God made us puzzles that perfectly fit together, where the picture cannot be complete without the other. Each puzzle piece has its own design and need, but they cannot form a unit without the other. Perfectly said. Thanks so much, Mark. Yes, we are pieces that complete that picture. Man equals woman. Equal value, same importance, and different. I want to take out the word roles and I put calling, different callings. Okay? It is a calling exactly like the calling to be Abuna, or the calling to be a doctor that serves the underserved areas. It is a calling, it is not a job. It is a vocation. It is not a role that you put on and you put off whenever you like it or whenever the task is done. But it is a calling, it is a vocation, it is a way of life. Yes, so we are equal, we are the same, but different functions, different callings. Um, it is not a rank. It is not that the man is higher than the woman. It is not better than. It's not smarter than. It's not more able than. But again, it is a calling. It is a responsibility. If you recall these verses from Luke 22, that was a quarrel about, or an argument about, who is the greatest among the disciples. And there arose also a dispute among them as to which one of them was regarded to be greatest. And he said to them, the king of the Gentiles lorded over them, and those who have authority over them are called benefactors. But it is not, and I want you to take these words and apply it to your relationship, to your marriage. It is not this way with you, but the one who is the greatest among you must become like the youngest, and the leader like the servant. For who is the greater, the one who reclines at the table or the one who serves? It is not the one who reclines at the table. I am among you as the one who serves. We can enter into marriage with a lot of hidden expectations. Again, baggage from your own parents' marriage. And if these are not expressed in a humble way, you can have a lot of resentment building over years and years and years. And it is not a competition who will make their opinion or their voice louder. Because in most marriages, there's a power struggle. And again, I'm bringing two different people living together 24/7. Yes, you've been dating, you've been engaged, but living 24/7 like together is way different than just dating or going out, okay? So you will observe there are some kind of power struggles. Whose opinion is heard? Whose word will be the final word? And again, to good things, finances, we're doing budgeting, okay? We wanna buy a house, buy a car, we wanna move. These like things, you will find the hidden power struggle. And one of the great verses that can guide you here is this one. It is not this way with you, but the one who is the greatest among you must become like the youngest. Let's unpack this verse. Now you are all couples, right? From your experience, like so far, and I don't want you to share a lot, but have you noticed any power struggles in your relationship so far? And if you say yes, this is perfectly normal, so it is not gonna shame you. I have power struggles with my wife, so it is okay. We all had this, so, but I want you to be aware. Have you had any power struggles so far in your relationships? Okay, thank you. This is normal. See, I wanna normalize that. It doesn't shame you. It doesn't mean that you are a bad couple. It means that you are two different individuals walking together and will be living together, right? So expect that. Normalize it. When you normalize it, you will be able to deal with it in a humble way. But when it's a surprise, Allah, like how come she is not listening to me? Or how come he doesn't take my opinion? Yeah, because he has a different brain. He has a different view. And also you have a different view. How can we reconcile those? And if you're not aware of this power struggle dynamic, you will be going into win-lose kind of mentality. I gotta win this. I gotta win. But if you approach it as a win-win, okay, we both have valid opinions, but maybe we can consider or come up with a third opinion that could work for both of us. So again, it is not about who is the greatest, who have the final word. And if you as the husband say, okay, to your wife, okay, you think about this way, all right, let's do it your way. It is not a sign of defeat. You are one team. It is not who won. It is about who was aware of this dynamic and was humble enough to lift up their other partner. So who's the greatest? No one. We are both the greatest by both being the humble one. Yes.
I'm just saying, how about if the husband is being stubborn about an idea and they just see it that his word or his way or a highway, what you gonna do?
Can we keep this until the last session tomorrow? Okay, just keep a mental note. Dealing with like stubbornness. Yeah, it is real. So, one concept we need to understand is called oneness in marriage. Oneness. What is oneness? What do you think oneness is? Anybody from online? Unity? What does unity mean? That we have only one opinion? Togetherness. Okay, that's better. Understanding your partner. Let me look at here. And being united front when making decisions. Okay? Good. Together. And the word together is really good because it means that you are bringing two different people together. So oneness is being together, being united in a way that keeps the individual intact, but also they are part of the puzzle. They are part of that like team. There's a verse here in Proverbs, through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant ideas. How can we bring two different people together to live 24/7 for the rest of their lives? Is through wisdom. We need wisdom in approaching the marriage. We need understanding. How can I understand my partner? How do I understand myself? Yes, we try to appear the best in front of each other, but we need to understand also that we are broken people, we are fallen people. Yes, and I want to be the best for my fiance, for my partner, but I am limited. I need to understand my limitations. I need to understand how my partner functions. And knowledge, we need to know. We need to learn about each other. And again, it is different than the assumptions you have about marriage. It is different than what you have seen in the movies. It is different from what you have seen with your parents, with your friends' parents. Way different. And to make your marriage a unique relationship, and by saying it unique and healthy and successful, it does not mean that there is no problems. It's free from problems. No. You will face problems. Marriage is hard work. After all the years, still it is hard work. So it needs these three foundations, three pillars: wisdom, godly wisdom, how God views your marriage. It needs understanding of yourself, of your partner. In order to understand, also you need knowledge. The last slide here, because I told you, tonight is like just an intro, okay? This is by the Gottman Institute for Marriage. Do you see it, or I think I can zoom it? Oops. Yes. It is the house, it is the sound relationship house theory. Any house needs foundations and needs pillars, right? The foundation to build your house, and it is a sound one, it can withstand the storms. It is to build a love map. Understanding your partner. Love map. How they function. What pleases them. What makes them happy. What annoys them. What are their triggers. There's a map to love your partner. And if you don't know it yet, I think you need to discuss it together. Ask deeper questions, reflect, gain insight about your client's, your partner's inner world. Building a love map. Sharing fondness and admiration. It is the antidote for contempt. How you admire each other, how you build each other. How in conflicts you turn toward instead of away. So again, I'm sure like by now you've all had your arguments, fights, because this is normal, right? Having a fight, having an argument is not a sign of a bad relationship. It means, again, two different individuals trying to create life together. Do you turn away or do you turn towards each other? Building a positive perspective. How do you problem solve? Do you focus on the problem or do you focus on the solution or the exception to the problem? And again, we will talk about this tomorrow in detail, but this is the sound house that you want to build. Managing conflict, and if you pay attention, this model does not talk about conflict resolution. This is in business and it doesn't happen. You don't resolve conflict, you manage conflict. Why? Because this allows room for personal differences and personality traits that will never change, but you manage your way around it. Some things would change, but you already have a set personality. So managing conflict versus resolving the conflict. Anybody here wants to comment or? Okay. Accepting your partner's influence, dialogue about problems, and then practice self-soothing. We'll talk about this in detail tomorrow. Make life dreams come true. How you create an atmosphere that would encourage each person to talk about themselves. Having this freedom to express yourself is one of the blessings of marriage. But if you find yourself filtering your words, biting your tongue, not really expressing like everything, now you are going into a different path. And how you create a shared meaning. How you create a shared meaning. What is meaningful for you as a couple? And then, let me bring this back. The two pillars are trust and commitment. There must be trust. Feeling safe around your partner. Feeling safe. Do you feel safe to express yourself? Do you feel safe talking about your frustrations, about your hopes, about your dreams? And are you committed? Or you're just in it when the days are good and when the days are bad and there are like problems, you find yourself withdrawing. So again, building a sound house needs these foundations, needs the pillars of trust and commitment. I want to hear from you. I'm done with this intro. I want to hear from you. What do you think about all this? What stuck out to you? Just move it around. And also for people online, please feel free to just join us. In this very light, brief intro, what stood out to you?
I think one of the first things is you brought up the verses from Ephesians earlier, and I think likening a marriage to how Jesus interacts with his church, I think is one major thing. Obviously, Christ sanctifies marriage in a sacramental way, but continuing that practice into the actual marriage, I think, is very important. The other thing is you're bringing, like you said, two people who are very different into one house, into one marriage. And I think a lot of this model here, I think, is able to reconcile that. And is probably one of the biggest challenges.
Anybody, it doesn't have to be by turn, just anybody move it around and just talk.
I think for me it was managing conflict, because my perspective is always conflict resolution. So I guess being understanding of that there's different upbringings, and those upbringings have developed various different personalities that are likely not going to change. So the resolution side might not be the best course of action.
Thank you, Chris. And I guess because we measure our success with the absence of arguments. Therefore, once we have an argument, it means that something is wrong. And then I have to erase it, make it disappear, put it down, pacify it, say or do anything to just make it go away, right? But understanding that, okay, we are different, we have personalities are different. It's hard to change a person unless this person wants to change, and even the person can't change everything about themselves because they are personality traits. So managing the conflict, walking with it, not walking around it, not avoiding it, but walking with it is a big difference. So thanks, Chris. Anybody from Troy or Indiana, Columbus, Toledo, Dayton? I'm not sure where else. What stood out to you in this very brief, light intro? We said nothing actually so far. Like tomorrow is the very big day. So be ready, okay? Come, caffeinated, well fed. We'll be here for the entire day, but okay. أي حد عاوز يقول حاجة سبنه.
I like the verse about the leaders and the servants. 'Cause
Yes.
something I truly believe in is you need to learn how to be a leader and to be led at the same time, depending on the situation. I think it's very important to be a leader and know how to be led.
This is really good. How to be a leader and how to be led. Yes. This is good. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, طب معلش هات
Okay, I'm just gonna talk a little bit wise about the relationship, and there is a limitation of like being engaged. There is a limitation in a relationship, like some people don't tell or say any or everything about themselves in this relationship until they get married, and then you find out other things that wasn't expected. But what I'm saying about being safe to ask questions and get the right answer, it's not guaranteed during engagement. Like me as a person, I ask any kind of question that I want. And I'm not afraid of just being turned down or telling me that's not your business or this is very personal.
So are you asking or is this a comment?
It's a comment and kind of question too, but the relationship and the engagement period is a little bit different than
Absolutely.
after marriage, because there is a lot of things hidden or they hide from each other things, and it becomes a problem after marriage.
And this is why we were talking about from now on, you need to learn how to foster an environment of safety. Yes, you want to appear the best in front of each other. You want to look, you want to be on your best behavior. You want to win their hearts, and then you're saying, okay, if I don't like something, inshallah, after marriage, I will fix it or I will change it. This is a big no. Feel safe enough to talk about things now, because brushing things under the carpet or just wait, okay, after marriage, I'll take care of it. You can't and you won't. So yes, feeling safe, asking questions, but don't ask to interrogate. Ask and being curious. Okay, being interested in the person. And there's always a room for the unknown. Okay, there's always unknown in marriage. And like I used to say to couples, if you are at 70, 30, 80, 20, 90, 10, this is amazing, great. Like meaning 70 is known, 30 unknown, or 80 is known, 80% of our dynamics we have addressed, we know what to expect, and 20% is left for the unknown. Yeah, this is realistic. Like in any thing, when you apply for a new job or you move to a different place of the country, there is an unknown aspect. But if you are at 50-50 or 60-40, this is not a good spot to be at. But again, allow a small room for the unknown, which is normal, which is natural. Thank you, Esmi. Itani, any other comment? Patrick, do you have any input from the group? Okay.
So I had a comment. I take issue with gender roles because there are many cases where I saw where a guy is just not an actual leader, like his wife is. So she takes, over the decision making and all of that. Or like I've seen cases where women are non-nurturing, so their husband's actually more nurturing and he takes care of the children and all of that. So I don't know. I guess in the context of today's lecture, I don't really know how to take that because their relationship works. They have, although the roles are reversed compared to like what you were lecturing about, it seems to work for them and they have a healthy relationship. They seem to have a great relationship. Or oftentimes, well, I've seen it happen where one partner becomes largely absent due to one reason or another, and then either the husband or the wife has to take over both roles, both the nurturing role and the decision making, the leadership role, like all of that. So I guess I don't know. It doesn't. It's like a case by case basis for me. I guess is how I view it. I don't know that it necessarily fits for everybody, but that's just my comment.
Yeah, thank you. I believe, yes, like every couple is different and you'll have differences in roles, but we're not really talking about roles as who does what or gender roles as much as understanding of your calling as and your function as a wife and as like a husband. Of course, there are differences in personalities, and you might like find guys somehow more nurturing than the woman, and it is okay as long as there is an understanding and there is a fulfillment and there is a shared meaning with that couple. So I agree with you that like every couple is unique, but also it will help us that we're not really talking about roles as chores or tasks. We're talking about my calling as a husband. When you both stand in front of the altar on your wedding night and you accept that calling, the man puts on the priestly vestment and the woman puts on the crown of the queen. This is a calling. This is a calling. It is a calling for service. It is a calling to accept the way of the cross, okay? Yes, it is nice for the pictures. They are like shiny and stuff, but it is not that. It is a calling. And actually, if you want to get like a bit further, it is like somehow like an ordination actually. صح? Ordination, رسامة يعني. Okay? You will be ordained as a husband and as a wife if you take it this way, right? It is a calling. The husband will put on the priestly vestment. This is, you're being the priest over your house. It is an ordination. Maybe it's not the official way that we know it, but it is a kind of This is the official calling for you. You will be like Christ. You will be the head. And what does the head do? Okay. You will be the wife. You will be the queen. You will be life-giving. You will honor, lift up, support, and we'll talk in detail like about why the word helper is really a good word. It is not a second-degree word, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. So it is a calling. So if there is no other comments, Patrick? I would encourage you tomorrow to take notes. Okay, I just don't want you to listen and do it for the sake of getting by, but just take notes. It helps us, and I want to say that this content, most of it, me, Aranda, my wife here, we attended a seminar back in the days. It was 4 years into our marriage, or maybe 5 years, and it's really made a huge difference with us. So it does work, and we took notes, and these notes are from that seminars. And so take notes tomorrow, discuss it, have it as an opportunity to open up your mind, okay? Because it is not how your parents did marriage. It is not how you have seen marriage acted in the movies, but it is your work as a couple who are after God's heart. Any other questions, comments? We're good? Patrick, are we good over there? All right, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 sharp? All right, okay, good night. Let's pray, and I'll let you go. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God, amen. We thank you, Lord, for the calling you will bestow on each one of us, on the path that you will pave for each couple here. Bless them as they start their life, and help them to share their thoughts and to be safe around each other. Help us to just open our minds tomorrow to learn more about your design for marriage. Through the intercession of Saint Mary and all the saints, hear us when we all say together, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.